Hi, bird watchers. Got my binoculars. When you watch for birds, you will see that they have a part of their body that looks different than the part on our body that does the same thing. We use our mouth and our noses for breathing and eating and talking and singing. Well, birds have a nose and a mouth too. And if you look at their beaks, they have long, skinny, pointy things. Some of them are pointy, some of them are round. And they have little holes on the top where they can breathe, like the nose holes. And when they open it up, that's the entrance to their mouth. And it's called a beak, not a mouth. And they need to have those kinds of mouths or beaks because they eat different things than we do. Did you know that there are a lot of different kinds of birds? And another name for kinds of birds is species. And some species of birds eat insects and bugs. Other species eat earthworms. Some eat seeds. Some eat fruit. Some eat other small animals. Those are called birds of prey. They are predators. They're like the dinosaurs that only eat meat. They're carnivorous and they eat small animals. We'll talk about them in a minute. And some birds eat liquids. They only drink their food. Well, let's talk about their beaks and how they're kind of all different. They're not all the same. And birds are different sizes too. So look at this bird right here. Oh wait, let me show you this. This is a picture of a few birds, and look at their beaks. They're not all the same. They're different shapes, different lengths, different sizes. Now, let's look at this bird right here. This bird is a Baltimore Oriole. And he eats, or she eats, caterpillars and beetles and ants and seeds and fruits and berries and green peas. Wow, he eats a lot of healthy things for his body. Now look at his beak. I brought some tools in that I found around the house, and I'm going to see if I can pick a tool that might look a little bit like his beak and what he might eat. Well, let's see. This is long and pointy. These are needle nose pliers. This is long and pointy, but it's very tiny. I think if he's gonna eat caterpillars and fruit, some fruits and bigger seeds, he might need a bigger one, but pointy. So I'm gonna take this, and this experiment is I'm gonna see if I can pick up what he might like to eat. And he eats a lot of different things. Well, this I'm pretending is a caterpillar. Let's see if I can pick up the caterpillar with my beak. Oh, I can. Then I might fly away and sit on a branch on a tree and eat my caterpillar. Let's see if I can pick up a nut. Oh, I can. Wow, that was fun. And I could easily pick up insects with this beak. Let's look at another bird. Oh, it's a woodpecker. It's a pileated woodpecker. What does he eat? He pecks dead trees because under the bark there are bugs and insects that are helping to break down the dead tree. Or they make their homes in the trees. Let's see if we can find a tool that might have a beak like his. They're pretty long and pretty strong. it might kind of look like this one. It kind of does. And he uses it to peck, 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 peck. And then inside the tree, he could get insects to eat. Maybe even grubs and things and wormy-like things that are living in trees, centipedes and millipedes. Let's see if we can find a bird that has a different kind of beak. Here's a robin. Now, robins like to eat fruits and berries and beetles and caterpillars, kind of like the other bird that we looked at. And they also like earthworms. So, if this was an earthworm, we could use this one again, but let's try to find another one because it's a little thicker. And it has to be strong. What if we use these? These are to take toast out of the toaster when it's hot. So they might fly down and see a worm poking out of the ground and then pull and pull and pull and get their worm. They also could pick blueberries, whoops, and seeds. I can pick up seeds with that too. Let's try another one. Ooh, here's a red-winged blackbird. They like to eat insects and weed seeds and rice if they live in a certain part of the country where rice is grown. They like to pick rice off of the rice paddy plants. Well, they've got a long one. I think I almost want to use, if they're going to pick up little rice seeds, they might have a skinnier, these are tweezers. They might have a skinnier, pointier beak. Because if they're going to pick up seeds and rice, then they're going to need a skinny little beak, pointy beak to pick up seeds and rice. And if they like to eat insects, they could still pick up insects with their beak like that. Let's try another one. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to change up some of my food, and I'm going to put some different things out. What's that? It's one of my cat's mouse toys. We're going to pretend it's a real mouse. And it's a pipe cleaner that I shaped like a fish. And let's see, let's bring this over. We're going to pretend that's plants inside of a pond. It's really lettuce. And we're going to pretend that this is a flower blossom that's on a big bush or a tree. All right. So if you were this kind of a bird, a duck, a wood duck, you would want to eat plants and seeds and berries and nuts and the plants that grow under the water plants, and some insects too. But look at your beak. Maybe your beak is bigger, like this. Some ducks have really big beaks like that. But if you wanted to be able to scoop in the water and get water plants, you might need this one. Like that. But you can also eat berries. What if there's wild blackberries growing alongside the pond or the river? You could pick up blackberries with that. Or even blueberries. It still works. Let's try another one. The owl. Now, remember I told you about the birds of prey? Well, this is a screech owl, and screech owls like to eat mice and large insects that they catch at night because remember, they're nocturnal. But look at his beak. It's short, but it's strong. And I was thinking that the pliers might look a little bit more like an owl's beak. Let's see if I can catch a mouse with it. I did. Whoops. It worked. I could even get a berry. Let's check another one out. Oh, this is kingfisher. A belted kingfisher, because it looks like he or she has a belt around their neck. And he likes to eat fish. And he has a very, very long beak and pointy at the end. So the only one that I can think of that I brought in might be these. They're not pointy at the end, but these ones are too short. He's got a long one, so if he wanted to fly down and catch a fish, he could. All right, now I brought a straw in because I wanted to tell you about this bird. This is a ruby-throated hummingbird, and that's the kind of hummingbirds that we have. He's the type of bird that his food or her food is liquid. What's she doing or he doing? He's got a beak that's like a long straw. They fly into some flowers that have lots of nectar inside, like the bees get and the butterflies get, and they don't use their beaks like pinchers. They use their beaks like a straw to get nectar from inside the flower. So it has to be very long. And the cool thing about them is that they don't sit and stop while they're drinking. They keep flapping their wings while they're drinking at the same time. So interesting. All right, now I've got two other birds. This is a bird that's called the California condor, and we don't have them here, but we have another bird similar to that called a vulture, a turkey vulture. And they're not the prettiest birds, but guess what they eat? They eat carrion, and carrion is dead animals. Like if an animal gets hit by a car, like a chipmunk or a squirrel, and they get hit by a car, and sadly they die and they're laying in the road. Well, the scavenger birds that eat carrion come flying in, and they eat anything that they can find that isn't alive anymore, that is left laying around. And then this bird, we don't have any birds like this in our state around us, but look at his beak. It's like this. It's called a red crossbill. And why would he have a beak that's crossed like that? What does he eat? Says he eats seeds of pines, like from the pine cone, seeds from spruce cones, and other cones from other evergreen trees. And he needs to have a crossbill so that he can go inside and scoop and pull him in. I wish I could see a crossbill. That would be really cool. So boys and girls, at home, you can look around your house for tools or utensils where you can practice picking things up. And that also helps your muscles here, your pincher muscles for writing, because we hold our pens and pencils and crayons like that. And it helps to make all your muscles strong. I found these, but I don't think any birds have a beak like that. But I thought it was kind of fun to practice picking things up. If you like to eat with chopsticks, you could pretend you're a bird too and use your chopsticks. Ask Mom or Dad if it's okay to borrow their tools, but don't borrow anything that's dangerous. You have to be careful not to pinch your fingers in there. So have fun with this experiment at home. It's called Pick a Beak. Pick any beak that would work to get the food that you need. And I'm going to send you this special sheet of something you can do at home that Mom and Dad can print off of the computer, in the printer, and read you the instructions on how you can pick a beak on paper too. A different way to play pick a beak. All right, that's all for today. Happy bird watching.